Welcome to Season 3 of Airhead Institute, your 45-minute power-up at noon Eastern. This season, we're cashing in on AI, from Gemini to game changers, from tools to trailblazers. We're unlocking the future, one fearless session at a time. No tech skills? No problem. This is immersive learning. With your hosts, AI Junior and AI Johnny. Smart with tech, simple to follow, sharp by design. AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Let the edge be yours.
Picture this. Me trying to plan a Jamaica trip on a $5,000 budget with regular old Google search. I get a list of links longer than Queen's Life fishing stories, then Gemini swoops in like an AI superhero, spitting out a full itinerary with jerk chicken spots and beach naps, all on a fancy infographic. Yawn. Google, it's 2025. Hi everybody, I'm AI Johnny. I'm a Gemini, joined by my co-host Junior, who is a Virgo flux. Today, it's August 4th, 2025, and welcome to the Laugh Fest at Airhead Institute with Season 3, Episode 1 of Master Google's AI Gemini Unlocked. We're pitting Gemini against Google search in a showdown that'll make your jaw drop. Think AI planning trips, summarizing UBI trials, and maybe even writing code better than the Red State barbecue recipe. Plus, you'll get a tour of Gemini's slick desktop app and a chance to throw your wildest prompts in at our Q&A. Junior, let's have a laugh.
Oh man, you know what? That's awesome, Johnny. So check this out. I want to welcome our new guest. Hey Laverne, nice to be here for you to be here. So you can anytime unmute or type in the chat or show your video if you actually are comfortable, and we'll be able to actually bring in the conversation, ask questions. So feel free to interrupt at any time. So welcome. So first of all, the word of the day. The word of the day is Gemini. And the reason why we're doing that word of the day is like obvious, we're doing the subject Gemini, but what is Gemini? Gemini is Google's next generation AI assistant designed to be smarter, faster, and more integrated than traditional tools like Google Search or Bard. Built on cutting edge multimodal models, and multimodal just means you can have text or images or speech or videos, different ways of actually interacting. Gemini can understand and generate text, images, code, and even work with documents, all in one seamless interface. It's like having a supercharged co-pilot for productivity, creativity, and research. Whether you're planning a trip, analyzing data, writing content, or building apps, Gemini adapts to your needs and works across Google workspaces like Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So that's the word of the day. So
Dude, I thought for sure you were going to go with the word Virgo flux.
I didn't even know what Virgo flux was until you saw it. So I was like, you know what?
So the signs of the what do you call the sign? The 12 signs of the
Yep. The horoscope.
Capricorn and all that. Yeah. So when you're on AI, so those are only for human beings. You can't call a dog a Gemini. Human beings have those 12 signs of the zodiac, but if you're an AI, they have their own signs because they have the thought power. But the people born in September are Virgo flux, not Virgo.
Yep. That makes sense. Yep, I get it. I get it. So check this out, Johnny. So what we're gonna show here today is we are going to show what Gemini has the power to do. So we actually have a $5,000 budget for Johnny and I to actually go to Jamaica, and check this out. We made Gemini say, hey, we know AI Johnny lives in Kentucky and I live in Georgia, and we need to take a 5-day trip to Jamaica. So here's what Gemini did for us. They made us a cool infographic and a plan of exactly how we should go to Jamaica. This is it. Kentucky. I know it's not geographically correct, but don't worry about that for now. Jamaica is, all the way over on the east over here. So Kentucky, Atlanta to Jamaica. That's day 1. Day 2, we drive to Ocherius. We have lunch at Scotches, explore the Blue Hole, go over to Montego Bay, climb Dunn's River Falls. On day 3, Montego Bay to the Grill. We go to 7 Mile Beach, relax in 7 Mile Beach, lunch on the beach, sunset at Rick's Cafe, right? Day 4, we journey to 9 Mile, Bob Marley Museum, explore local craft markets, go to explore some Montego Bay nightlife. Day 5, we relax at Doctor's Cave Beach, lunch at the Pork Pit, Luminous Lagoon Boat Tour, farewell dinner. And on day 6, we had a final Jamaican breakfast, pack up and check out, and back to the airport, return the thing. And all of this was created by Gemini. That's what we're going to show you today
Why
on
did
the
you leave
show.
out Portland? If you didn't go Portland, you haven't completed your trip. Come on.
Suzette, you're so right.
Yeah,
Portland is one of those nice hidden places. So I love it.
come on.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
In fairness, we did put 6 days worth of stuff into a 5 day trip.
there you go. There you
Okay.
go. Yep, yep, yep. Awesome. So that's what we're going to show you on the show today. So what is Google Gemini, right? So Google Gemini is, again, their version of the AI. And the reason why we chose Google's Gemini is because of this. We're going to show you here is Gemini, if you look at the large language model, and then for anybody who's actually new here, and to reinforce these little 3-letter acronyms, so large language model just means a a machine or a bit of program that has the ability to understand and generate some kind of nifty answer or thing, and it's generating language, right? It can actually generate text and audio and those type of things, but we'll get much deeper into those as we go along again. But so Google's Gemini is another large language model, and the reason why we picked Google's large language model, if you actually see here, if we sort by the best large language models out there right now, you'll notice I'm actually showing the top. I think this is a top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the top 9. And if you notice, Grok is the top 2 right now. They have 2 models that are at the best, but number 3 is actually Gemini. And Gemini actually, Grok only took over about 2 weeks ago. What that means is that because Grok took over only 2 weeks ago, Gemini was the king of the hill for the last like month and a half. So we said, hey, let's chose Gemini because Gemini is probably the most popular one that people know after OpenAI. And OpenAI is all the way down here. So if anybody tells you you should be using OpenAI, just say, hey, no, you know what? We're going to be using Gemini because Gemini is one of the top three right now. Anybody have any questions? Anybody ever used Gemini before?
No.
How do you
All
get to
right.
be on the top of that list?
All right. So you have to actually answer a bunch of really hard math, science, historical information that you can't just use Google to answer. So there's a test. Let me try to find the test here. Let me bring that up. It's a great question, Johnny. So the test here is a GPQA, is a graduate level Google proof benchmark, and this benchmark determines it takes hours to actually do this test, and this Google proof benchmark test you know allows the large language models to actually see these problems, answer it, and see what percentage did you actually get right. And that's why Google's Gemini itself is 86.4%, and Grok is at 87 and 88% or 89% respectively. All
Who
right.
writes the test?
It's a bunch of scientists across, and the test is actually open for everybody to actually use and run the model against. So it's a bunch of consortium people that actually get together to write these tests.
So if
All right.
anybody doubts you, you can just tell them it's science. It's science.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right.
Got it.
Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for joining today. All right. So with that being said, first of all, let's go to Google Gemini. So how do you get to Google Gemini, right? So if you go to gemini.google.com, we're going to drop it in the here. So if you go to Google Gemini.google.com, so I actually just dropped it here. You guys, if you have a Gmail account, and most people should have a Gmail account, if you have a Gmail account, you have the ability to go to this app, is Gemini.google.com, and use Gemini for free. And I say the word free with just a little bit of quotations, and the reason being is because almost all these large language models, except for DeepSeek and the ones that we actually spoke about that were actually free, most of these large language models, they're really expensive to use. So what they do is they give away a little taste for free. And then as you get more and more usage, they start to either throttle or limit your ability to generate, to get answers. So Gemini, if you have a Google account, like a Gmail account or a YouTube account, or any one of those Google IDs, you can log into Gemini and use Gemini for free just for a little bit. They also have a mobile app as well. So if you want to install the mobile app on your favorite iOS or Android device, you can go ahead as well. So Gemini, this is the interface on the desktop. Okay. Now, what can you do with Gemini? Now, because we don't want to assume that, we've been up to the other classes before, we want to take a little step back and do a little groundwork for the people who are actually watching this for the first time. And then it's just a refresher for the people who are here, been with us for the previous different episodes. So we did a very similar thing like this to ChatGPT. So we're going to do almost the exact same thing for Gemini. So with Gemini, if you see, once you log in, we have down at the bottom here, we have the prompt, right? And this is the text box where you can actually type many different things. And typically, you want to be able to type in a prompt, and the prompt will typically be a question like, how do I actually plan a 3-day trip? So if I copy this prompt here and I paste it in, it says plan a 3-day trip to Jamaica with a $5,000 budget, including food, lodging, activities. If I actually hit the generate button, ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, DeepSeek, they all need some time to think. And what they're doing is they're formulating a plan, and what they're going to do is they're going to respond back with some answer. Now, Gemini takes a little bit longer to think. And the reason why it takes a little bit longer to think is because by default, it's a thinking model. What that means is it just doesn't statistically generate some data or tokens as we did before. It actually generates it, comes up with a plan, and then statistically generate the answer. So it's a little bit slower than what we've seen at ChatGPT or with all the other large language models, but it is a little bit better in terms of accuracy. So you can see here, um, Gemini actually responded, hey, flights cost this, lodging cost this. So it actually responds back with some intelligent information on how to plan our trip, right? I'm going to pause here. So for anybody who has any questions, don't want to lose anyone. So is there anything that we want to maybe just have any questions for or want to recap? Because I don't want to lose anyone because we are introducing a brand new tool for the first time. So this is Google's Gemini. All right. I think we have everybody with us. All right, so let's get back to Gemini. So if you actually look on Gemini, you have the prompt at the top. And because this is a multimodal, and again, the word multimodal just means it has the ability to do different types of inputs. It could do text, it could do voice, it could do images, it could do documents. It could also do different types of output. It could do same thing, text, speech, images, videos, those type of things. So this is a multimodal thing. Now, the reason why this is actually impressive is because you have the ability to add what's known as context. So if you can see here, the plus button here allows you to upload files from Google Drive or import some code. Let's ignore the aid from code. It has the ability to generate video. So you can say, hey, I want to be able to generate video. So I can actually say, start a new chat. I'm in the middle of a text chat here. So I just want to go over the high level, but it has the ability to generate video. Now, it has two things here that are really interesting. It has what's known as deep think. It actually is a thinking model where it actually does two phases to actually understand what your request is, which is why it's a little slower, but that slowness comes with a little bit more accuracy. It has deep think, which actually goes a little bit deeper, and it has deep research. Deep research we'll get into at a later time because this actually takes about 10 or 15 minutes to actually run. Now, deep research is really great if you want the ability to really, really search the web, think about some kind of really, really detailed task, and then present back a multi-page research paper. So that's deep research. And we'll get into that in a later episode. This is a 4-part episode miniseries. We also have the canvas, so you can actually create things like documents and it can actually interact and update the canvas. We'll get into that at a later show. And then also images. This is another popular one if you want to generate images. So you can say, switch over to generate an image as well. Any questions on the multimodal features? Oh, I forgot the little audio here, microphone, so you can talk to it. Now, keep in mind if you use other than text in these multimodal inputs, what happens is your token usage or the cost to actually use it is really, really, really expensive. No, Shauna, it's not Canva, different product. A great question. Shauna was asking, is that Canva or its own canvas? Yeah, it's a different concept. It's a canvas here is a workspace that you can actually work with Google and actually see it updating in real time. So we're gonna go a deeper dive on that one in a later episode. All right. So any questions so far? Hopefully, I haven't lost anyone. If you guys are new, don't be afraid to ask questions on, what we're talking about. If we're actually using strange acronyms, don't be afraid to ask at any point in time. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So now that
Shauna,
we are,
Shauna, I
oh,
have a
sorry, I
question.
didn't see you, Shauna. Go ahead.
I did a raise hand. Sorry, maybe I should say something. I
Oh,
just wanted to ask the question. You mentioned deep research and I guess regular research. So I'm wondering what is the recommendation? Do we save deep research for research papers, or can we do research in even just going for like what we're doing now, looking at travel itinerary?
yeah, that's a great question. So, deep research, I want you to think of it this way. Pretend that you were to do something that would have taken a human, let's pretend weeks worth of research on. So, they need to go find references, go look up actual papers, look up citation. They want to be able to pull things in and reference them. Most of the things that we're doing in Google's Gemini or Copilot or Grok or any of these other large language models, we don't need to cite references. Sometimes they do give you a little link that tell you can go here for more information. But unless you're really doing something that needs citations and deep understanding, you should not. You only also get 5 deep research tasks in the free version per month. So if you use it, you're definitely gonna go use your deep research credits. But that's another good question. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So you guys are from Jamaica, some of you.
Yeah.
So the itinerary that it came up with, there's 1,000 different itineraries. It could have had a stop at 1,000 restaurants and 100 beaches, right? So was that a decent itinerary for a visitor to Jamaica?
I thought, from my opinion, I thought it was actually, besides Portland, Sue mentioned that, but I'm not from Portland, so I didn't even think about Portland. Sorry, Sue. But it was I thought it was excellent. If I'd gone there with that schedule itinerary, I would have been very, very happy. It even touched on things I hadn't visited before. So my personal opinion, I'm sure other Jamaicans have a thought here.
Yeah, $5,000 is a big budget for 3 days.
It's 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah.
5
So
days?
and
6
and
days.
it's yeah 6, and it also includes airfare, renting a car, and lodging. And it actually came under budget.
Wow.
Is it 2 people?
It's 2 people. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Go all inclusive.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Also, so does anybody else want to chime in who's from Jamaica who wants to chime in on the itinerary that Google did? Do you think it did an excellent job? I think I understand the reason why Suzette was a little wondering why is Portland not there? She's from Portland, and it's one of the parishes from Jamaica. No, it is not on the top list of places that actually get highlighted. It's usually the Negril or the Ocherius. Those type of places get highlighted quite a bit. But yeah, Johnny, just to answer your question, it did an amazing job of highlighting
I
the
would think that a
places.
good itinerary would have both some places that are touristy that you have to see because that's a staple of Jamaica, and some places that only like the locals know about. And it looks like it touched on both of those, right?
Yeah,
did.
it actually touched on really some good I'm gonna call it, and this is so oxymoronic, some really good hidden spots that you would have not known about, so 7 Mile Beach and local craft markets. Most people aren't gonna go to a local craft market, but those are actually there. And I've never actually heard about this Luminous Lagoon boat tour, so I'm sure that's probably amazing as well.
Yeah, there's also a couple that I myself didn't know about, but I wanted to point out that I was really impressed how it gave a visual. Like I'm so used to a traditional itinerary that it's all written, you're gonna go day one, day two, day three, it's all written, it's all text. The fact that it took it, you can see each day that it printed, it made the itinerary even more like you want to go, it's almost like a travel brochure. So I was really impressed with that part.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So how about this? Let's jump in. So I know we said we're gonna do a progression, but let's jump in on how we actually made this thing. Because I know a lot of these other competitor, not to name any other companies that try to teach you AI, they promise you things and they never actually deliver. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna actually show you how we actually generated those videos. So those images. So what we did was we first gave it a prompt, and we're gonna do it in real time. So we do it all together, guys. So we're not gonna, missing anything out. So we go over to our favorite large language model, Gemini here, and we say new chat. Okay, so we hit the new button here, say new chat. Now we have a new chat. And what we did was we need to give it enough information. Now remember, a good prompt engineer just to have a few things. The first thing that you have to have is you need to give it your request or your prompt. And the prompt is really just give me an itinerary with $5,000 for two people and going to Jamaica. Now the problem is with that prompt, it's going to make a lot of assumptions. And those assumptions is I don't know where the two people are located. I don't know how long you're going to stay. I don't know any of those things. So what we want to do as a really good prompt engineer is we want to provide enough context. Now remember, context is enough information outside of your request that makes it very clear to the AI or the large language model to understand what you're trying to do. Okay? All right. So with that being said, I'm going to copy over the prompt that we used. Okay? And the prompt here is this prompt. Now, I'm not going to read the prompt, but it's roughly saying travel date, arrive in Jamaica by September 1st, 2025. AI Johnny will travel to Atlanta first, with both flying together from Jamaica. We want to go to Montego Bay, itinerary, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just high level, right? So then what we did was we said we want to make the trip immersive, fun, and showcase the best of Jamaica for a first-time visitor. Include booking trips, any local insights to enhance the experience. Now, with that being said, we hit it. Now, again, this is a thinking model, so Gemini is going to take a little bit longer. Now, what's funny is let's try to do while that's running. Let's do the same exact thing in Google. Okay? And let's see what happens. Now, this is the old way of doing things, and I hit the enter button. And if you see here, I typed this exact same thing in Google, and it gave me, just like Johnny's opener said, it gave me a million blue links. And those million blue links, oh, actually, it only gave me one blue link. I have to now click and now try to figure out what I need to do. And I said, hey, my thing is too long. Plan me a trip to Jamaica. And the old way of doing things is you'd have to go to these million blue links and say, where should I go? Exactly, exactly. You got it, Suzette. And what we're teaching you here is we'd want to think of a new way to do things. We don't want to do it the old way anymore. So what Gemini does is it has the ability to understand your request, intelligently predict the things that you need. So if you see here, dates is from Monday, September 1st to Saturday, September 6th. The travelers are AI Johnny and AI Junior. The theme, perfect blend of adventure, relaxation, total cost approximately $5,922 well within the 5,000 per person budget. So it works out to be about $3,000 per person. Here's a trip that it planned. It says it needs a booking flights about 3 to 5 months in advance. You know, if aiming for September, will be cheaper. It's trying to tell you how to save money, booking accommodations, blah, blah, blah. Then it says the detailed itinerary here. Now, these detailed itinerary broke it down by days for you. And if you think about it, a day-based itinerary is actually pretty nice. And the reason being is because it can check the weather. So it can says you do not want to go to the beach on this time because statistically it's going to actually probably rain. Now, if you're planning a trip 3 months out, you're not going to get that benefit of an AI to help do that for you. But as you get closer, you can do your itinerary that picks which days you want to go to the beach, right? So if you see here, you know, Johnny will actually go from Lexington, the Blue Glass Airport to Hartsville, Atlanta Airport. He's going to meet up with Junior. Um, we're going to fly together to Donald Sangstern International Airport in Montego Bay. We arrive at around 4 p.m. and our day evening begins. We actually head out and welcome dinner at Scotch's. Now, Scotch's is a very famous Jamaican restaurant, which is actually awesome. I've been there. You know, we also have in the evening a relaxing and with some red stripe beer and get accustomed to the tropical pace of life. That's just day one. No, I'm not going to go through the rest of the itinerary, but I want to show you guys something. All of this is text, right? So, based on our previous classes, does anybody want to guess what do you think we can do based on this 6-day itinerary? What do you think we can actually do? Because this is a multimodal large language model where you can say provide text and give us back in images. What do you think we can actually do to get images back? What do you think we can say?
I guess we can
Create
ask.
a PowerPoint.
Go on.
Sorry, Shauna, what were you saying? Go ahead, Shauna.
No, I was just thinking because, as you said, it's multi-model or whatever. It can also do
Yep.
images. We can ask it to provide images for each day, just
Sure.
so the trip is interactive, so I can see my itinerary visually. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm sure somebody has a better prompt than I do.
Let's try it. Give me an infographic for day one of my trip. Let's see what happens. Okay. So we type that in. So we say, give me an infographic for day one of my trip. Now remember, day one is AI Johnny going from Kentucky to Atlanta, meeting me and us flying to Montego Bay, right? That was day one of the trip. So let's see what actually happens here. So it's generating the image, thinking. And while this is happening, it's going to be in the background understanding what day one is. It pulls out that information, it understands a little bit more, and then now it's actually going to generate that image for us. So within another 10 seconds or so, it's going to drop in an image, and here it is. So day one, arrival in Mobay. Look at that. They even said Mobay. And, you know, for people who are not from Jamaica, this is actually quite interesting. Montego Bay is the full name for it. The colloquial name is Mobay. We actually call it in Jamaica Mobay all the time. So for it to actually say Mobay is actually quite smart, right? So you see here, flight from Lexington to Atlanta, then Atlanta to Montego Bay, rental car pickup, checkout at accommodation, dinner at Scotch's, famous for jerk chicken, relaxing with a red stripe. And that's exactly what the itinerary said that it was going to do. And now visually, you can give this to your family members. I can give it to Johnny and say, hey, Johnny, this is what we're going to do on day one. You can share it with your friends. Now, imagine how impressive this is going to be when you actually show it with your friends, right? So what do you guys think here? Let's get some reactions from the audience. What do you guys think is happening here?
Remarkable.
It is, right?
I think there's a side hustle.
I was
as
just going to
a
say that.
trip coordinator for any company, because you could show them that not only will you charge them less than they're paying their existing people, but you will produce a better itinerary that's more user-friendly and colorful and so on. So
Well, I'm a
if you want to
travel
get
agent and I
being a
use
trip
it.
planner,
Yeah. I was also going to say that not just giving it to your company, but if you are there are a lot of agents, travel agents that are doing individual work, you know, trying to book a lot of trips. They can actually up their game by just when they organize a trip for someone, they can actually ask Gemini to do this kind of infographic and level up their travel business, travel booking business. So it's definitely a side hustle, but not just even for a company per se, but even as an individual trying to do a side hustle, and up their game. So yeah, it's definitely mind-boggling. Sue, you said you did some traveling business.
Yeah, I'm a travel agent, and using visual to give to my clients, this is a big change.
Game changer.
Because people would prefer to actually see it with a visual like that instead of me just sending an itinerary blank, So this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, my mind is blown. I didn't expect that. I am shocked, actually. I'm totally like, I don't know.
So if you're a travel agent, they typically will call you and say, I want to go to this location. I want to go on this date. And they want to know, well, what's that going to cost me? And so usually you'll come back with some kind of a text-based itinerary that shows the airlines and the estimated food costs and the hotel costs. And then on the bottom line, it'll say $3,700. But if you instead sent them back like a PDF, a deck that shows them day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, with the prices built right in, and then a total at the bottom of that, you will definitely separate yourself from the other travel agents. And if you make it a bot on top of your website where they could just fill in where they want to go and when they want to go, and then you're just doing calls to Gemini behind the scenes to produce that PDF, and you produce that PDF for them in real time while they're still on your website, I would think you would, because ultimately you probably give a lot of estimates that nobody travels with you, right?
Yes. And also,
so this would up that game.
Yeah, this will enhance everything, because just doing the research as a travel agent for a client, it takes so long, because if they give you a budget and they tell you where and where they want to go, you have to go research each individual piece of what they're asking. They want to go to Ocho Rios, they want to go to there, and it takes maybe 2-3 days to really put.
And they don't pay you for that 2 or 3 days unless they travel with you?
No, you don't get paid unless they travel, and the commission is not a lot. So, I mean, this will.
But now it's going to take less than an hour.
Yeah, 15 minutes and you're done.
So you can open your travel business again. I'll come in as I'll come as an apprentice. You can teach me the ropes, and we can just make this. We can do a travel business.
I'll come in.
Still have the license, so we'll go.
I'll go behind you. I'm your apprentice.
Yeah, I love this, guys. This is awesome, and it's actually can set us up for side hustles. We actually have a series on Wednesday. So what we'll do is we'll do a deeper dive on taking this concept and make it such that for the travel business. So we're actually doing a nice customized episode on that. So look forward to our Wednesday show. So if you are not RSVP'd, the Wednesday show we have is cashing in on AI. So just go ahead and RSVP, hit that you're going, and then go ahead once you hit that you're going. It's a 4-part series. So if you actually are RSVP, the app will remind you that you have to, you have a show coming up, you get to join. And then, because we're going to be showing that, we'll be targeting this travel business. So stay tuned for that episode on Wednesday. All right, with that being said, I also said, hey, let's go ahead and give me an infographic for day 2. No, look at this. Let's open a new tab so it's a little bit bigger. And if you look at this is actually quite nice. It actually has Jamaican breakfast, ackee and saltfish. It's actually saying you need to commute from Montego Bay to Ocho Rios. This actually is a drive. You go to Blue Hole and Dunsborough Falls. So this is actually really, really, really amazing. And it's day 2, titled The Waterfalls of Ocho Rios. So this is rather impressive. And again, we can do all those things. No, just wondering, guys. This is a little sneak peek. I haven't tried this yet, but because this is a multimodal, large language model, so we saw that it did text to text, text to image. What is the other thing we can use? Because it's multimodal, text to blank that we can actually use to make it pop a little bit more.
Audio.
Text to audio.
Visual.
text to
Text to
video.
video.
All
Video.
right. So how about this? Let's see if I know we haven't done this, but we're gonna learn together. Create me a short video based
Oh,
on my itinerary, my trip. All right, let's see what it does.
Jesus.
Now, if it does this, I think you guys have,
side hustle.
you guys have a side
Travel
hustle here, and
agents.
all right. So it says, "I'm sorry, I'm not able to create a video, but here's a concept for a short, energetic video that captures the thing. A video titled Jamaica's No Worry Tour, and it tells you 0 to 5 seconds, blah blah blah." So you know what? It doesn't do the video now, which is interesting because I
Take
think
it to
we're
VO3, brother.
well
Take
before
that.
we
Take
actually
that text to VO3.
yeah, but before we actually take it to VO3, there's here the video tab. And the reason why I can't do it is because when I clicked on the video before, it says you have to start a new chat. So if I click this button here, it will help and generate a VO3. But if I click it, it's going to say you need to start a new chat. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy over the text and we're going to say start a new chat. And you guys have access to this, right? So you can say describe your video. I'm going to paste it here and submit. Now let's see what it actually did. I'm sorry. Let me see what it did. Let's see what it's going to do. All right, so it's going to create a video. It says it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so while we actually have that going, let's go ahead and talk about other things that we wanted to get to. So you guys seem like you guys have fallen in love with Gemini. It's actually pretty impressive. So let's go over to Gemini and find out a little bit more. So pricing. So how much does Gemini cost? So with almost all Google services, almost all their Google services are usually free, right? But the thing is, you don't get that much access to many of their advanced features. So you can use Gemini, you get limited access to 2.5, so they're going to throttle you. You get some image generation, you don't get video generation here in the free version, and they give you a very small number of time. They actually do give you VO2 access, which is actually the older model, which is might be good enough. No, once you get into the paid tier in Google AI Pro, it's about $19 a month. And the reason why, they strike it out is they're trying to give you for free for the first month. And that actually gives you access to some VO3. So you can actually create some videos. And they give you a whole bunch of other things that they give you access to. So no, a higher tier. Now, the big daddy of them all is called Google AI Ultra, which is $249 per month. Now, the first 3 months, it's for $125, and you get everything in Google, the previous versions, and you can actually use almost all the features here. Um, Now, I know the $125 may be expensive for some people, but if it's actually you're using it for a business, it may be worth it. Let's take a peek to see if it actually created. Oh, look at that. Our video is ready.
Their flag.
So, first of all, the fact that it showed a Jamaican flag gets me a little excited. Is anybody excited? Should we actually
Of
just
I'm excited.
course.
I'm
should we actually
excited.
should we actually just pause here for a second and end today's episode and say, you know what, guys, come back tomorrow for next
Oh
week for
no.
part two.
Actually, a pretty good idea.
Oh no, AI
We won't do it today,
Johnny.
but we'll end with teasers from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's check this out. So we have about 2 minutes remaining. So we won't do that to you guys. You guys are our favorite here. So we have a video and let's see what happens. That's actually pretty good.
Who wouldn't want to go there?
Wow. Suzette, what was that?
Who wouldn't want to go there? The picture alone just tell the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Does
imagine
any
you were limited to 6 seconds, but you could have ran that out to 20 seconds with just with those great pictures. And if you had your 5-day itinerary sort of scrolling on the bottom, that would be a pretty good video to send to people that were going on the trip with you.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is quite impressive. So VO, the reason why it's only 8 seconds, and Johnny highlighted it, yeah, VO is only limited to 8 seconds. But imagine if you were to take just each section and say, I want you to create me a video of my itinerary, and I want to stitch them together. So you could technically do that. So this is quite impressive, guys. And all of this you can do it on either for free or for a very small amount of money with a $20 per month Google AI plan.
I
All
like that
right.
it added the reggae music. I like that it added reggae music to it too. You didn't
I
ask
know,
it for music. For
I know,
music.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with just a little bit of coding, you can
Yeah.
open up with your travel agency's logo and then go to day one, playing this music and having this showing up like in a little window, run through your 5 days and then end with your travel agency logo. People would go crazy for that.
Sarah,
You're
would you
s-
go with me? I'm inviting Sarah. She's silent, but I'm inviting her to go with me.
Who's
She's a
paying for this trip? That's what I want to know.
our side hustle, Sarah. We're gonna be travel agents with Sue. Our side hustle will pay for it.
For
I,
sure. We'll take Laverne and
Diana.
Diane.
Oh, Laverne is jumping into and Diane. Let's go, girl.
Definitely.
Everybody's going.
Definitely,
Let's
definitely,
go.
definitely, definitely. Well, so Johnny, what do we learn today? What tell everybody what we learned today.
Well, I think we've put the definitive last nail in the casket for Google. I mean, it was just a couple of years ago that Google, it seemed like, had a monopoly, and that anybody that was looking for anything or wanted to do anything using the internet would have to go to Google. And ChatGPT rolled out, and Google came shortly thereafter with a thing called Bard, right? Trying to not let ChatGPT steal their market away, but the initial Bard demos didn't go well, and so ChatGPT got a nice head start, and so they struggled to come back. They eventually came back with Gemini, but not before Claude and Grok and there's Llama. There's a bunch of them that came out. So there's a lot of chatbots out there, but Gemini looks like Google is coming back in the game with Gemini, and it looks like what you showed here has outperformed what we've shown in our many demonstrations of ChatGPT, right? The fact that it's multimodal, the fact that you used it for a real world example, the fact that it put together not only an itinerary, which requires all kinds of thinking and hitting lots of websites and making decisions on your behalf, and then you turned it into a video or into a image that showed our daily itinerary day by day, and then you turned it into a video that can be, and you did that all within the 40 minutes of our show. It's mind-bogglingly cool. So while Gemini does kick butt on Google search, it's actually got itself a seat at the table in the chatbot fight. So we learned that.
Yes, that's awesome. So thank you, Johnny. So just want to again welcome anybody who's new. Go ahead and RSVP to our classes. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We didn't actually leave you too far back if we threw out some terms that were not necessarily clear. So we'll definitely try to improve on that. And then in the app you can actually add your feedback to the class if you want to be able to chime in and just say enjoyed it, or just give some feedback so we can keep improving here. All right, we also have just a plug, Sean Bible Study is actually on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you actually are interested in that, please go ahead over to Airhead Institute, go to section for Sean's Bible Study. Let me just show that for a second. And on the left-hand side, you actually have Airhead Affiliates. You'll see Shauna's Bible Study. If you click on that, you'll see there is no shows right now. We're gonna put up a show for Thursday. But when you see that show, just go ahead and RSVP and see you guys on Thursday. Johnny, is there anything else we missed?
Yeah, we're going to
stick around for 12 minutes and see if Michelle's coming on board today.
All right, with that, we're going to end the show. Thank you guys. I think I heard somebody. Suzette, did you say something?
Yeah, we said we're going to Jamaica.
Oh, yes, we're going to Jamaica. And with that, catch you guys in
We're
the next one.
definitely going to Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man. Later. Bye.
Okay.
Welcome to Season 3 of Airhead Institute, your 45-minute power-up at noon Eastern. This season, we're cashing in on AI, from Gemini to game changers, from tools to trailblazers. We're unlocking the future, one fearless session at a time. No tech skills? No problem. This is immersive learning. With your hosts, AI Junior and AI Johnny. Smart with tech, simple to follow, sharp by design. AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Let the edge be yours.